Choppin It Up with Diz and Los.
Welcome, guys, to Choppin It Up with Diz and Los. I'm Diz, that's Los. What up, Los?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Professionals.
No, just hanging out. It was a birthday weekend for you. Anything that you did? What'd you do? Anything special?
My wife took me out to AC.
Did you
Nice,
win?
nice little, gambling getaway. Away from the kids for the weekend. Some nice R&R. It was
Did
good.
you win? Did you happen to win?
You know what's funny, man? So, listen, man, I don't get enough sleep when I'm home, right? So we go to dinner. We get nice, like around 7 o'clock dinner reservations. We have dinner, we go back to the room just to get ready to go gamble. So I said, listen, I'm gonna lay down for like half hour. This was like 8:30. Yo, I didn't wake up until midnight. Yo,
Oh, you were out.
I get up and then you know what? I said, we gotta gamble. So I get up, we go gamble, and then next thing you know, I start getting hot. I start getting my numbers on roulette.
Is that what you play, roulette?
I mostly play roulette. Sometimes I play blackjack, but mostly roulette. But after like midnight, the tables are no more for small rollers. You gotta play loot.
Yep.
So they're playing like 25 a hand, right? 25 a hand. So like I start hitting. It was like 4 in the morning. I didn't get off the table. And then I ended up just like, I was hungry. It was like 4 in the morning. I was like, do it. I was like, yo, let's go get a burger or something, man.
Now, does Wifey gamble with you, or she just stays by your side?
She was actually gambling with me. She was doing her own thing too. But it was fun, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get to do that a lot with her. So it was a nice, weekend away with without the kids and hanging out with the wife and just having
that's the
having some
vacation.
fun.
Is hanging away from the kids. Sometimes is just a good little vacation. That's but we don't get that on Father's Day. Mother's Day they get that, but on Father's Day, just go right back to them. Just go right back to the father. But anyway, did you put any future bets while you were down there?
No future bets. You know what?
Do they
I
have
don't know.
that? I have that down there.
I haven't been really fully. You know what it is? I haven't been really fully invested in like the NCAA like that. I've been watching it here and there, and the whole thing going on with the Final Four. I got a couple of sleepers, but I wasn't really like I wasn't feeling it to like drop any heavy loot on it.
All right, so let's get right into the March Madness since you brought it up. I'll go with my 4. And I'll do my favorite, but an injury may have caused that my favorite to drop down.
Okay.
So I have the East. I have Duke. I'm going in there. At the South, I have Michigan State.
Okay.
The West, I have Florida, and the Midwest, I have Houston. Now that's my final 4. The champion I was gonna have was Duke because of how talented they are and Cooper Flagg. I'm a big Cooper Flagg fan. He did get hurt. I don't know if he is going to be playing in the tournament, but if he does play, they should win the whole thing pretty easily, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I do think so. And if not, I'm going to I'll go Florida and Duke.
Okay. So I'm going to go straight. I'm a big sleeper guy. So what I'm going to say is I like Ole Miss as a sleeper.
Okay.
I like Ole Miss going deep.
Okay.
On the low, maybe I would say Final Four, possibly. Ole Miss as a sleeper. I like Michigan. Michigan on the low.
Michigan's good.
Oregon has a big man. I think Oregon can make some noise too. I was looking at who they're gonna face, and I would say Alabama is a favorite.
Yeah.
Alabama's the 1 seed.
Yeah,
Alabama's not getting the respect that they deserve.
No, they don't, because you know what? They're always going to football. And that's why.
But you know what? If they're ranked number 1, they're not just ranked number 1 just because.
That is true. I would tell you a team that I'm surprised with too, and I think they might make some noise. Is St. John's.
St. John's that's number 2, right?
John's. St. John's is
on the low,
pretty good. And I will tell you the team that I thought was coming on strong, but they didn't make the tournament was Rutgers. They have
yeah, man, that would have been nice, bro, for Jersey. That would have been huge.
Mm-hmm. They have 2 top, I would say, top 5 picks of next year on that team. So you're not big into you don't watch it and every day?
No, I watch it here and there when I get a chance, but I'm not searching for it,
I used to like it when I would wake up when I would work in a bagel shop, come home by like 2 o'clock or so, 2:30.
Mhm.
You get those games that come on at like noon and they go on for all.
A buzzer
Now it's
beater. Oh,
yeah, those are the best ones. The first
those are
couple
intense.
days are the best games to watch, and then it's like the final four. But going
Mhm.
from like the Sweet 16 to the Elite Eight, it's just okay. You have a feeling who's going to be there. Anything else popping off with some sports? Let's see. What's going on with the Giants, man?
What's
Because
going on with?
I'm hearing Mr. Unlimited's coming, and then all things are not coming.
Oh, it's not even. It's like, why is everybody waiting for Aaron Rodgers? Like everyone's just waiting on Aaron Rodgers. I don't understand that, right? So you got Cleveland, right? Cleveland. So let's go back to 2023, right? Cleveland, you had Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson gets hurt, and I think week 12, Deshaun Watson gets hurt, and they bring in Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco signs. Joe Flacco from week 13 to week 17, he went 4-1. And if you remember, he went win, 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 lost, and then went to the playoffs and faced Houston in the playoffs first in
Yes.
the wild card.
Mhm.
They got smoked, but Joe Flacco did his job, right? So
And let's just say for those wins, and he was putting up numbers.
yeah, he was putting up touchdowns. I think he had like 13 touchdowns in that span, right? But if you
Yep.
take a look, right? So fast forward to now, right? So that season was over. Deshaun Watson obviously comes back from injury. They don't sign Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, I believe, did he sign with someone else the following year after that? Did he go with the Colts?
Yes.
He did go with the Colts, right? So
No,
now this,
the following year he went with the Jets, and then he went with
yeah.
the Colts.
Okay, so now you're in a situation where you're interviewing quarterbacks, right? You're interviewing Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. You have a guy that came in 2023, week 13, dominated, was 4-1 from week 13 to week 17, and he's available, and you're waiting for Aaron Rodgers. You get what I'm saying? And this guy with the Kevin Stefanski offense, like he was elite. He was doing his thing, right? He was putting
Yeah.
yo for like even for fantasy purposes, he was putting on numbers. So, you know, like if I was the Cleveland Browns, I would say, listen, I'm bringing it. Deshaun Watson's coming back because they restructured his deal. They
Yeah,
restructured,
it's not the Deshaun Watson of old. So I mean, he's
yeah,
gonna have to
but
fighting for
yeah,
the job.
no, I know, but you like, why not bring in Joe Flacco? I don't think Joe Flacco is calling for like 20 mil a year like Justin Fields is. You can
Yep.
get him for the low. You can get him for the minimum. So if I was the Cleveland Browns, I would go for him. You still got Deshaun Watson, and then you draft a quarterback in the draft, right?
Now, would you draft the quarterback the second pick, or no?
So Cleveland has the what? They have the second pick. So number one is going to go Cam Ward. Cam Ward's well. What's what I'm hearing, man? I'm hearing like it's going. He's going back up there, right? So
Yeah.
Cam Ward to go to the Titans, or he goes
Yep.
to Cleveland. I don't think Shador Sanders makes it past. I don't think he. I think he goes past the tenth pick. Tell you the truth, I don't think he's a top 10 pick.
Oh
I
wow,
keep on
wow.
hearing him. I
I
keep
don't
on
like
hearing
him
him
as a
drop.
quarterback,
I
but
keep on
yeah.
hearing him drop. So I don't know.
And it's his attitude, the way he carries himself.
So the Steelers is another. They're in another predicament, right? So
Mm-hmm.
who they got right now? They got
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, right? So they didn't sign. So look, last year let's rewind the tape. Last year, Russell Wilson, beginning of the season, was not playing. He was hurt. Okay, get it. Justin Fields comes in. He wasn't putting out lights out numbers, but Justin Fields was producing, getting wins, close
Yes.
wins, right?
Yep.
Then later on through the year, Russell Wilson comes in. Russell Wilson keeps playing. Russell Wilson, he was putting up, he was doing okay, but it wasn't like wow, like wow. But he was getting the wins, but he's a good game manager. He knows the game. He's been there before, right? Now, what do they do? What do the Steelers do? The Steelers choose not to sign him because why? They have their eyes set on Aaron Rodgers. They want to see what Aaron Rodgers does, right? Again, if I'm the Steelers and I had a guy that was producing, why not pay?
Exactly. He was in your system already.
Why don't
He.
you pay him and then go for a QB in the draft? But no,
Yep.
I want to go for Aaron Rodgers because I think you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers sucks, but dude, why are you gonna like you had a guy that was already in your system,
Yep.
knows your guys, and on top of that, you got DK Metcalf and George Pickens. DK Metcalf was Russell's guy.
Yep.
It that that
That
relationship
makes sense. I
it
don't know
makes
why
so
that.
much sense, but now they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers, right? So this was gonna happen. Giants now. The Giants, the same thing. The Giants keep on telling Aaron Rodgers, listen, when you come here, you're going to be our guy. You're going to be our guy, right? Russell Wilson comes in. Russell Wilson fits the bill to be the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion, well respected. He's not one of those guys, those flashy guys. You know, he keeps to himself and he's like very professional, right? He fits the bill. The Giants.
And you also said something else that his wife is
And
big
his
into New
wife
York
is
City.
New York. You know, she's still in the business. She's still in the music industry, right?
Yep.
New York is where she came from, right? Where she comes from. That's her hometown. So why not? Why not go to New York? It makes sense. But New
It
York, I
does.
think New York is waiting for Aaron Rodgers. They told him they're going to give him some time to make his decision. It's wherever Aaron Rodgers lands.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I think Russell Wilson should sign. Like the smartest move for Russell Wilson would be for Russell Wilson to sign with the Steelers.
Hmm.
I think, but the Steelers aren't waiting for that. The Steelers want Aaron Rodgers.
So that's the thing. Okay, is there something that we're not seeing? We're not hearing that the Steelers would do that and just get rid of Russell Wilson and go after Aaron Rodgers, who, I mean, it's basically the same person. But
Look,
the difference is this person has been in your system, has put wins on the table for your team, has, had a good relationship with the coaches, I assume. But I don't know why a team would do that unless there's stuff we're not hearing.
as a Giants fan, I want Russell Wilson. As a Giants fan, because I know they'll go for Russell Wilson and then they're going to get a QB in the second round. They're not going to go QB first round. The Steelers, if they were smart, they would go sign Russell Wilson and go QB late in the draft
Yeah, I would want Russell Wilson.
over Aaron Rodgers.
I don't even want Aaron Rodgers. I really don't. I think he is bad to build a team around right now. At this time, he demands so much power, and that's the thing. Like, we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid. That's why it's weird to see the Steelers do that because
But it's a high risk. It's a high risk, high reward in Pittsburgh if you look at it, because you got DK
Yep.
and you got Pickens. So if Rodgers pans out, like that could be lethal.
But you had Adams and Wilson, and that didn't make.
But
out.
if I was to pull up the stats from I think week 13 to the end of the season with Aaron Rodgers was putting up numbers, man. In that Jets, yeah, he was. You listen, don't make me pull up the stat sheet.
You got to
man,
pull it up. Put up the stats because
because I'm telling you, man.
I don't think
So
that.
I think he was like QB 12 or QB 10 last year, man, or something like that. It was crazy.
QB 12, Jesus.
Um,
But yeah, if I'm also with the third pick with the Giants, I think it's leaning towards Travis Hunter. I think they're going. I think everything's showing Travis Hunter to them.
So listen, as the weeks go on, the Giants keep on addressing their defense. Like we already talked about last week's show, they addressed their young secondary. It just keeps on getting younger. I think the oldest they have is like 25 years old.
Yeah.
I heard rumblings that they were thinking of bringing Jair Alexander. As a veteran presence there, that would be huge.
But I heard the Eagles are looking too. But
the Eagles just signed Ojolari for 1 year, the Giants middle linebacker.
I did see that.
That was a big loss, man, for the Giants. Man, he was good.
I know.
So again, the Eagles get young. The Eagles got younger. The guy's only first year. You saw what he did.
Yeah, he was good. And you know what? I don't know if you told me this or I was reading something on social media. Well, reading now, but I was listening to something. But it said that in the next 4 years or 3 years, the Eagles have 5 first-round draft picks.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's crazy.
It's
on top of their picks.
Yo, Howie's doing a great job over there as a GM, man. He's a smart guy. He's getting the picks. He's hitting on every draft. Like every draft for the last 2-3 years. The Eagles GM has just been on fire, man. And he won a Super Bowl last year just to go shit with a young secondary, a young defense. I think the middle linebackers, their front line and their front defense line and their secondary are all young guys, man.
They
all
are
within the last 2-3 years. So I tip off my. Listen, I'm a Giants fan, and I'm not. I tip off my hat to them, man. They did a great job. Now that's what the Giants need to do, because I'll tell you right now. The GM shown his job is on the line, and I was telling you before, he needs to hit home runs on every pick, And now in free agency, he needs to spend money, and that's what they're doing. They're spending money.
He was
So,
hitting. He was hitting some good ones with the defense that he got. He did hit some liners. I don't know if they're home runs,
but
but you know,
he's making the right. He's picking up the players that they need. Right, they're addressing the defense because we were getting burnt in the secondary, man, burnt.
yeah,
And even though Deontay Banks, and Flout, they were doing their thing. They were young, but they got burnt sometimes. So I think we need like a veteran cornerback just for like the locker room, just to hold that cohesiveness
and
together with
Xavier
the
would be
team.
great.
Yeah, he would be great. Now offensively, um, you got Neighbors, man. Neighbors is
Mhm.
he's quarterback proof.
Yep.
So you get a quarterback like Russell Wilson there, and he's going to be the guy for the next 1 or 2 years. We can make some noise, man. We can make some noise in the NFC East, even though the NFC East is going to be stacked. But we can challenge the Commanders. We can challenge the Eagles because the Eagles lost some key players too, man. So don't
Yeah.
sleep on that. So if we can keep on doing what we got to do in free agency and just keep on stacking the line, what we need to do is stack our offensive line. We need to get players that are going to play the whole season. Like I don't know how they did with their conditioning coach. I don't know if they have the same conditioning coach as last year, the Giants, but that's a big part of it too, man. Is like who your conditioning coaches are and what they're doing to get these players on the field every week.
Yeah.
If they're not doing the right physical therapy, the right process, they're not assessing how they produce every week, and they don't got the right people in play, like these guys are gonna get hurt all the time, man. I think.
Perfect example, just to cut you off. Perfect example was Luis Severine, who was a Yankees pitcher, went to the Mets, and
Uh
he
huh.
said it's night. He said it's night and day in the training room from Yankees to Mets. He said that the Yankees, they're good and everything, but going to the Mets, their training staff and their conditioning is top to none. He said. So that
Yeah.
was interesting comparing, the Yankees to the Mets. And I always heard that the Mets training staff sucked, but
Yeah.
just that no one really knows how much that is to get a player to play every game and every week and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's not just the athleticism of the player; it's like the conditioning.
And
The
recovery.
doctors, what they do in the inside to get these guys ready and prepped every week, man. That's big.
It is. Now, with the Giants, let's go. Who do you want? Third pick. Who do you want? Because it's only about what, a week or 2 weeks away it is? The draft is only like 2, 3 weeks away?
Man, so I don't want Shador Sanders.
No.
I'm not sold on him, right? He's good, I keep on listening to Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper keeps on hyping him up, and like he's like, listen, I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I'm just saying I don't think he at the value that they're putting on him, the price tag of like a top pick. I don't think he's worth that. I think Cam Ward is far more superior. Now, do the Giants spend their third pick on a two-way player, cornerback slash wide receiver? Um, I think no. I think if they sign Russell Wilson, they got to go for a QB. To be honest with you,
Wow.
because Russell Wilson, I think
Even
whoever, if it's Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or even Joe Flacco, they're going to be good for 2 years. 2 years
okay.
max. That's it. So listen, I would love to have Cam Ward learning behind Russell Wilson, learning. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a respected quarterback in the league, man, and
And
he's
that's
done it. He's done it
that's the
right.
thing.
He's
I
done it
don't
right.
he did it right, but I don't think Shador Sanders would want to listen to someone like that because of his father. He's been around
Mhm.
a bunch of NFL players. He's been around Tom Brady. It'll be harder to get into, I think, his head instead of Cam Ward's head. That's what I
Mhm.
think, to, get that mindset down, because Shador's already going around like, oh, I'm just going to do me and this and that. I don't like that. He's getting that arrogant Deion Sanders I love, but he's proven. Deion Sanders proven. Shador is not.
Yeah. So like I was watching tape on Shador Sanders and just looking up his stats and stuff. And like if you take a look at it, it's not that bad, man. Like last year, man, he was getting chased down a lot, man. Like
Yeah.
his whole line was like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And then for what he did with Colorado, he was like his completion rating for the season last year was like 75%, man. And he was putting up numbers with a shitty line. So I'm not saying he's a first rounder, but he's not a top 10 pick. he should be like 15, maybe 20. You know, I don't think he's a top 10 pick. I think there's
I
more
think I think
players.
someone's gonna grab him. Someone's gonna grab him early just to make
Yeah.
a name. Hmm.
You think the Raiders? What you think? Tom Brady and the Raiders?
I don't know because of Geno Smith.
Yeah, but Geno Smith, what? He got another like what, 4 or 5 years?
4 years. You think Sanders is gonna sit for 4 years? I think, to be honest, with you, I
He
think
goes
Cleveland's gonna draft him.
Cleveland at 2. So Cam Ward at 1 for sure.
I think Cam Ward at 1. Uh, Sanders at 2.
Then 3 leaves us with Travis Hunter, or do we trade down? Get
Do we
some
go after
capital,
Carter?
get some draft.
Defensive end? No.
No. So that's a good question right here. So do we trade our pick, get some draft capital, right? And then go for Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, you think goes to the second round?
No.
You think he goes in the first round?
Late first, early second. What's our pick in the second, you know? If it's not, I mean, if it's like 1 or 2 into the second round, then okay, I can deal with that. Ooh, that's a
and then I remember like I heard like they were trying to see if Joe Milton from the Patriots was going to be available. I don't know if any more steam going on with
I just heard today that the Giants are favored to offer them a third round pick
for Joe Milton.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, their third round, not their third pick on the first round. Their third round.
The third round.
I think that's worth it. I think
it's worth it.
I think you do that. You do that move right now.
Trade your pick. Build the line.
Yeah, I think the Giants have to. If Cam Ward is available at 3, I think the Giants need to sell that pick. Trade it, get some draft capital, and then go for either Jackson Dart late in the second round,
or trade for Milton.
Or Milton.
You get both.
You got to get a quarterback. You got to get
a young
quarterback. Yep.
All right, so let's see what else was going on. You watch wrestling Monday?
Yeah, a little something. So Cena still playing the heel, I see.
So that the eruption that when he walked out, George and I were just talking about that, was crazy. And you had the fans that liked Cena cheering him, the fans that hated him didn't. They were going back and forth. That was good. And I'm telling you, Triple H, you said this a couple weeks ago, has changed that whole WWE around. The night before WrestleMania, they're having a kill Tony, but it's a kill wrestling. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Where they roast everybody on stage, but now they get to roast the wrestlers.
Who are they going to roast? They already have the lineup of who they're going to roast?
I don't know. No, he just announced it. I think yesterday they said that they just announced it. So
wow.
That would be cool. And he's starting to really get into, the younger crowd, with stuff like that. And getting, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see? Who?
But you heard Cody. Cody called him a little whiny bitch to Cena. And Cena just took it.
Hey, that's going to be the matchup. What is it? April what? It's soon. It is April. Soon. It's only a couple weeks away too.
Is it the first week in April or the second week in April? I think it's usually around the 15th or something like that.
This month, March has been going by so quick this year.
Oh, tell me about it, man.
It was just December. We were just watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, April 19th. April 19th and then April 20th, Sunday.
Yep. So, that should be good. Did you happen to see Tracy Morgan yesterday?
Yo, I heard, man. I hope he's all right. I heard he just fucking blew chunks.
He blew chunks on Madison Square Garden.
Yo, I saw like the picture of it, and there was like on the front row, there was like a hot chick sitting there, and he's just blowing chunks, and the chick's just like sitting there like nothing's happening. I'm like, yo, you don't see that shit?
They
fucking get up
in a wheelchair.
Yo.
He was in the hospital. He posted pictures. I mean, I know ever since that accident, he got, he was sick. But man, that's embarrassing. I mean, try to throw up in your popcorn. I mean, Los. I think you know what
Oh my God, you remember that, D? I remember that. I know what you're gonna say. D, we were young and we were dumb. D, I know what you're talking about, D.
I can't lose that one. Oh.
Oh man.
I'm crying here, Los. The things that we did when we were younger. Holy
I know,
crap.
I know, I know.
I can't-
What were we drinking that night? I think we were drinking like a mixture concoction of like
we,
E and
we were
J
drinking everything.
and
And
Hennessy. I think we were like in our 20s, right? We were in our 20s when that happened.
yeah. Did you throw up on him or he threw up on you first?
I don't know. All I know is that I couldn't hold it down, and then the next thing you know, I'm just like earling on the floor, and then and then who was it? Steph, right? Then Steph starts earling. It was like a battle. Yo, that shit was crazy.
We're like Tino's throw. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh, that was crazy. That
It was
was crazy.
That was
Yeah,
classic times, man.
that was classic. But nothing else going on. I mean, let's see. Baseball's going to be starting. Did you see what happened to Mookie Betts? Did you see that?
No, what happened to him?
Well,
They were. Was it the Tokyo series? It was in Japan or Tokyo?
I think one of the
Show it was the Dodgers versus the Cubs.
yes.
Was
So
it during
apparently he's been sick for like a couple days, and they don't know what's wrong with him. He lost 15 pounds in like 4 days.
Damn.
So and they're saying something with the food, something
Oh,
happened. They
that,
don't know
that
what it
happens,
is.
man. Whenever you travel, so I remember when I went to what was it? When I went on a cruise, I think it was like last year. Like if you eat food from like you have to remember like other countries, they're like FDA regulations and food and stuff is different, right? So
Yeah.
like if your stomach is not accustomed to eat certain stuff like on the regular, like that's gonna happen to you. So maybe it's the food out there, or maybe he just got something that went bad.
But
Who knows?
but
Hopefully he's all right though, man.
but what's concerning is they're saying that he lost 15 pounds.
50.
15.
Oh, 15. That's
But
light.
it's so hard to gain that weight back during the season that he might not have power. He'll be more of a contact hitter. They're saying
Really?
they sat him down for the whole series. They said something's not right with him.
Let's get him some. It's working.
Hey,
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Let's see. Going next week, I think we got some of the NBA play. What is it? The playing games are going to start, I guess, again next
Yeah.
week, 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, the playing games. Yup.
So then we'll get that going on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about hopefully some new rumors of WrestleMania coming up.
You want to hear a bugged out story, man?
A
So
what?
you want to hear a crazy story? So
Go ahead.
aside from sports, check this out, right? So shout out to a fellow Peruvian native. So there was a Peruvian fisherman that was found alive after drifting at sea for 94 days. 94 days.
Where was this? In
So
Peru?
what happened? There was in Peru. So what happened was this guy he chartered a boat and he was supposed to go for 2 weeks Peruvian, right, in Peru. And what happened was he ended up being missing for like 3 months. Ecuadorian officials found him, right? So when they found him, they were interviewing him, right? And they were saying like, "Yo, what'd you do to survive?" My man goes, "Yo, I was eating cockroaches, birds, and sea turtles." He was like, "I was like, damn, yo,
Hey.
my man made us ceviche freaking out of sea turtles and was eating." Yo,
Oh,
but
so was he floating on something or was he stranded on?
I don't know, man, but like, you know what it is to be stranded for 3 months? But he said that. So what I was reading that he said he went 14 days not eating straight.
But he would
Which,
had to be drinking something because
no,
you
he
can't
had
go.
to, but the longest he went was 14 days, right? But in
Wow.
the entirety of him missing was 94 days. So he only had 2 weeks of enough food to supply him, and then after that was over, it was
Done.
every man for themselves. So he said he started eating cockroaches, birds, sea turtles. That's
I would
crazy.
do that too.
You got to do that. Listen, man, whatever you got to do to survive. So I tip off my hat to him. Shout outs to Peruvian nationals and the Coast Guards out there that found him, man. But he got reunited with his daughter and his family. So God bless him.
What would be your
Hope he
first meal?
recovered. But that was crazy, man. I try to put myself in that situation, man. 3 months,
I know.
dude, man.
Like what would be your first meal when you got home?
Oh
Mine
man,
probably
anything, man. Fucking burger or whatever, man.
Domino's. No.
Yeah, man. Like
anything. Did you happen to see the astronauts came back down today? Did you see
no,
that?
I did not see that.
I guess the Dragon Starlink, whatever, went up there and got him down. No, not Starlink, but the SpaceX thing, and I guess they came down. I was watching a little bit of it. Just imagine coming 3,000 miles an hour, right into
Yo,
the atmosphere.
yo, but let's get into boxing, yo. What about your boy Barlanga facing some dude? Did you
That
see
was
that? Come on, man. Did you see
that.
that? What
Yeah,
did
that was
what?
that was
So
that
was
wasn't
that a
even worth
fight?
watching, to be
Did he
honest.
even make any money on that fight? Like, I guess the guy who got destroyed made money.
They both make money, but with this whole new UFC TKO with the
Yo, but Barlanga looked good, but the guy that he was facing was garbage, bro.
yeah,
Like,
it was garbage.
he was not. He wasn't even in shape.
No, he did not look like in shape.
Yo, I
He
was
had
like, dude, I was like, are you serious? Is this like? I thought it was fake. Yo, when he stood up for the weigh-in and he was doing the thing, I was like, yo, that looks like me up there, bro. I was like, yo, the guy had a beer belly and everything. I was like, damn.
He just probably just had to get a contract fight in there and just go ahead and move on from there, because with this whole new TKO, UFC, and wrestling taking over with the Sheik, it's going to be changing boxing. Boxing's going to be changing. It's going to be you're going to have maybe less titles. It's going to be crazy within the next 2 years. You did see that, right? With UFC going in and TKO, they're trying to have their own boxing league. Well, they are. It's basically gonna be like wrestling, like when WWF took over WCW and all that. I mean, it's like that. So
Did you see Crawford? Did you see the pictures of Crawford bulking up?
He looks big. He looks big. He looks like he's in shape.
Canelo. Everyone's like, this could happen. Canelo. Everyone's like, oh, the favorite. Canelo. He's the pure true champion. Yo, Crawford, don't sleep.
Yeah, but
like when it comes to like,
there's levels to it, and I think they are actually close to the levels. But
defensively, what do you think defensively? Canelo has a sick defense, though.
Crawford's better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crawford. I don't know, man. Canelo.
You know what? I did not think Crawford was that good technically as a boxer. After I saw what he did to Earl Spence, I was like, oh my gosh, he picked him apart. But the thing is, when Crawford went up in weight, his power wasn't coming with him.
No.
When he fought the black guy, he couldn't really take him out. But that's it, Los. I guess we're going to be done with this show. We're about 30 minutes in. We'll get this posted up.
Like and subscribe, guys. And for all those new watchers, thank you for listening in and tuning in. Again, we'll be on next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. Be there or be square. Professionals.
Peace. Los, I'll see you.
Holla.